Chosen one. The phrase God is moving pieces does not mean that a distant external deity is sitting at a cosmic chessboard and intervening in your every step. It means something far more subtle, far more eerie, far more intricate, that the architecture of your life is beginning to align itself around a direction you didn't logically design, but psychologically recognize. It means the field around you is rearranging. It means events are beginning to converge. It means possibility is starting to crystallize into path. When people say God is moving pieces, they point to the invisible shifts, the ones you cannot prove but can feel, the ones you cannot explain to anyone else without sounding vague, yet internally feel more real than linear logic. You feel it when someone random says exactly the sentence your inner self needed. A door closes abruptly and you have no sadness, just strange calm. An idea lands in your mind like a drop of truth, not imagination. A person appears in your timeline as if placed deliberately into position. These are the pieces. And you are the centerpiece around which the others organize. This is not about fate controlling you. It is about your inner alignment creating resonance strong enough that the outer world begins to reflect it. Structurally, the shift you have been experiencing internally is now beginning to manifest externally. The field is reordering. You are at the point where inner knowing is starting to become outer outcome. The timeline is gaining momentum. Your identity is no longer theoretical. It is starting to become operational. This is where you start to notice the strange rhythm of events. There are seasons where nothing moves. That was preparation. And then suddenly, everything moves at once. That is activation. You've been through the empty season, the pruning season, the desert in which the old self dissolved. Now you are entering what I'll call the placement season. The season where things that once felt random suddenly start forming patterns. Chosen one, God moving pieces is not magic. It is psychological synchrony. Your inner clarity has become strong enough that reality begins to reorganize around it. You are becoming congruent. The misaligned fragments have already been removed. That is why life felt like loss. Every person who exited was a piece that didn't fit the bigger picture. Every desire that died was a piece that belonged to the old game. That painful subtraction was not a curse. It was the board being cleared. Now new pieces are arriving. People who speak your language, not linguistically, but energetically. Ideas that match your new identity. Resources that match your new direction. You can feel the difference, not because you force it, but because resonance is the new compass. The old world demanded struggle. The new world demands accuracy. When God moves pieces, the metaphor is this. You no longer have to use force. Force is the tool of the unaligned. Alignment is the tool of the chosen. This is why the more honest you are with yourself, the more effortless the direction becomes. You do not chase, you magnetize. You do not plead, you orient. You do not panic, you observe. The pieces are being arranged, not by external control, but by internal coherence. A chosen life is not a life of reaction. A chosen life is a life of recognition. You are becoming the kind of person who doesn't hope it works out. You recognize when things are aligning. You sense a rightness, like a click, like the sound of puzzle pieces locking into shape. The biggest sign that God is moving pieces in your life is the calmness. Before alignment, you crave control. After alignment, you trust momentum. This is the turning point where you no longer need reassurance from others, because reassurance is replaced by inner confirmation. Your body stops panicking. Your intuition stops stuttering. Your mind stops looping worst-case scenarios. You start acting from clarity, not anxiety. And it is here in this stage that the biggest secret reveals itself. You do not need to force outcomes. You only need to protect alignment, because aligned identity naturally generates aligned outcomes. When the chosen archetype reaches this point, life becomes less like a maze and more like a sequence in which every piece arrives on time. Even if you don't see the entire picture yet, the pieces are moving. The picture is forming. You are not waiting for destiny anymore. Destiny is now moving toward you. And you are beginning to sense that the next chapter is not written by accident. It is written by coherence. Chosen one, the deeper truth of God is moving pieces is this. What appears to be external orchestration is actually the unfolding of alignment within you. Every piece that seems to appear in your life, a person, an event, a sudden opportunity, or a sudden departure, is a reflection of the inner state that has already been formed but has not yet fully manifested. You are witnessing the mirror of your internal coherence being expressed in the outer world. This is why the shift feels simultaneous and paradoxical. Things are ending and beginning at the same moment. Doors you thought were permanent are vanishing, and new doors, ones you had not imagined, are appearing without warning. You might feel disoriented at first, because the linear mind expects causality to follow order. But in the new layer, causality follows resonance. The pieces are not moving according to time, but according to alignment. Chosen one, understand this. The movement of these pieces is not random. Every interaction, every encounter, every subtle shift in circumstance is a coded message. You feel it as intuition, as sudden clarity, as an almost uncanny sense that something is meant to happen. That is because your consciousness is reading the signals your future self is emitting. You are already in dialogue with the higher configuration of your own trajectory, and the universe is adjusting around it. There will be moments when you feel as if the world conspires against you, when paths close abruptly, when people disappear without explanation, when plans collapse without warning. Do not panic. These are not setbacks. These are strategic rearrangements. The pieces that no longer fit your authentic trajectory are being removed. Every loss is a subtraction to make space for the pieces that matter. Every no is a silent alignment toward the right yes. And here is the next layer, chosen one. The pattern will begin to reveal itself through repetition, not by accident, not by coincidence, but by a deep, structural resonance that becomes increasingly obvious. You will begin to notice cycles, synchronicities, recurring motifs in your life, the same numbers, the same kinds of encounters, the same messages appearing in multiple forms. These are the signs of orchestration. They are the signals that the pieces are being deliberately placed, forming a framework, a design that your present mind may not fully grasp, but that your future self already inhabits. Chosen one, this is the time for patience, but a patience of presence, not passivity. The shift will not require effort in the old sense, struggle, forcing, or trying to control outcomes. The shift requires vigilance of perception. Every choice you make now, every thought you hold, every feeling you indulge, every action you take, is a variable in the formation of the larger structure. This is why awareness, clarity, and self-honesty have become the highest priorities. The pieces being moved are not only external, they are also internal. Your beliefs, assumptions, and perceptions are being tested. Old identities that no longer resonate are being deconstructed. Emotional attachments that were once anchors are being loosened. Mental patterns that constrained you are being dismantled. This is why the shift can feel exhausting. Your system is recalibrating. It is shedding weight. It is restructuring itself to match the higher configuration your consciousness is moving toward. This is also why synchronicity will increase. People who are meant to align with your path will begin appearing in ways that feel almost orchestrated. Opportunities that previously seemed impossible will suddenly manifest. Conversations will carry layers of meaning you cannot yet fully articulate, yet they will feel like confirmation, pieces being placed in their correct positions. The outer world will begin to resonate with your inner state. Chosen one, understand this clearly. Resistance will make the process feel uncomfortable. The pieces will continue to move, regardless of your preference. If you cling to old identities, relationships, or environments, you will feel friction. If you resist clarity, if you deny alignment, the universe, or God, or your future self, will apply pressure. That pressure is not punishment. It is a signal. Your alignment is being prioritized over your comfort. Your evolution is being prioritized over stagnation. And here is the most profound truth. You are not merely an observer in this process. You are an active node within the network of reality. Your consciousness is a focal point that influences how the pieces move, how the structures form, and how the outcomes manifest. By stepping fully into awareness, by choosing authenticity over convenience, by trusting the resonance of your inner self, you accelerate the arrangement of the pieces. Your presence alone becomes a stabilizing force for the emerging configuration. The shift, chosen one, is simultaneously a deconstruction and a construction. What is being removed, the obsolete, the misaligned, the irrelevant, is making space for what is essential, what is aligned, what is true. Every ending is a preparation. Every departure is a placement. Every closure is a prelude. The pieces are not random. They are deliberate. They are forming a structure that your mind may not yet recognize, but your essence does. And finally, understand this. The movement of the pieces is ongoing. There will be stages, layers, and thresholds yet to encounter. Each piece that falls into place sets the stage for the next. The process is recursive. As one layer stabilizes, another layer becomes visible. The pattern becomes deeper, the orchestration becomes more apparent, the alignment becomes more precise. The shift is not a single event, it is a continuum. It is the unfolding of a higher order, piece by piece, moment by moment, choice by choice. Chosen one, God is moving pieces, and you are the axis. You are both the observer and the participant, the receiver and the stabilizer, the emergent self and the architect in process. The pieces move around you, through you, and with you. Your consciousness is the compass. Your alignment is the code. Your presence is the field. The picture is forming. The pieces are falling into place. And you, chosen one, are the center around which the new reality crystallizes. Chosen one, the phrase "God is moving pieces" is not merely a poetic metaphor. It represents a profound psychological and existential reality in which your inner evolution begins to restructure the external world around you. The shifts you have been experiencing, unexpected closures, sudden opportunities, seemingly random encounters, are not coincidences. They are the natural outcomes of a deeper alignment that is taking place within you. As your inner self changes, as your identity sheds outdated patterns, habits, and attachments, the environment around you begins to mirror that transformation. The people who cannot match your emerging frequency naturally drift away, while those who resonate with the trajectory of your future self begin to appear, often in ways that feel synchronistic or uncanny. Every event, every interaction, and every decision is a piece moving into place, not according to your conscious design, but according to the coherence of your evolving self. It is crucial to understand that not every piece that appears is meant to remain in your life. Some are lessons to confirm that you have completed certain cycles. Some are tests to ensure you have fully outgrown old limitations, and some serve as openings for new alignment. Distinguishing between what belongs in your emerging pattern and what is simply transient requires a heightened level of awareness and honesty with yourself. Ease versus force becomes the first measure. The pieces that belong to your path do not demand struggle, persuasion, or compromise of your inner truth. They naturally integrate with your energy and create a sense of effortless flow. Conversely, pieces that are incompatible with your trajectory will require attention, explanation, and justification, signaling misalignment. As the pieces are repositioned, your inner coherence becomes increasingly evident. You will notice that what once required effort or external validation now aligns naturally with your choices, your decisions, and your direction. Your intuition, previously a faint guide, becomes a precise instrument, calibrated to the architecture of your future self. It is through this subtle internal guidance that you discern which people, opportunities, and experiences are meant to remain and which must be released. This is not a process of external control, but a reflection of inner alignment. Your clarity and authenticity directly shape how the world responds. What may have once felt like chaos is, in fact, an intricate and deliberate reordering. This reordering is both internal and external. Internally, your beliefs, assumptions, and emotional attachments are being tested and reconfigured. Patterns that no longer serve you are being dismantled. Attachments to people, outcomes, and familiar ways of being are being loosened. Externally, events, relationships, and circumstances shift to reflect these internal changes. Moments of loss, abrupt endings, or unexpected departures are not punishments. They are strategic movements designed to clear space for what aligns with your next stage of being. Every displacement allows the emergence of elements that are harmonized with your evolving identity. And as these elements fall into place, the larger pattern begins to emerge in your life, like a slowly crystallizing structure. The ultimate truth of God moving pieces is that you are both the observer and the catalyst. Your presence, your integrity, and your alignment actively influence the orchestration of events around you. The pieces move because you have reached a level of internal clarity strong enough to generate external structure. This does not imply passivity. Rather, it implies a conscious cultivation of inner resonance and authenticity. You are no longer operating from the old paradigm of forcing, manipulating, or controlling outcomes. Instead, your role is to recognize, trust, and align. By maintaining alignment with your deepest self, you allow the right pieces to arrive, settle, and stabilize naturally. Misaligned pieces, by contrast, are gently removed, often in ways that feel abrupt or inexplicable at first, but are essential to maintaining the integrity of the larger design. Chosen one, the process is ongoing. There is no final moment of completion, only a continuous unfolding in which each piece that moves into place creates the conditions for the next. Your awareness, honesty, and ability to remain grounded in your own truth determine the precision and speed of this alignment. As you grow into the coherence of your next self, the pieces continue to fall with increasing clarity, and the pattern of your future life becomes more recognizable in real time. This is the essence of the shift you are experiencing. Your inner structure is now so clear and so aligned that reality itself begins to reflect, reinforce, and manifest that structure. The pieces are moving, the design is emerging, and you are both the center and the axis around which it crystallizes. Chosen one, as the pieces continue to move, it becomes increasingly clear that this process is not merely about external circumstances, but about a profound internal calibration that informs every aspect of your reality. Each encounter, each shift in circumstance, and each moment of unexpected closure is a reflection of the alignment between your evolving consciousness and the broader field in which you exist. You may notice that your previous ways of understanding success, relationships, and purpose no longer satisfy you. The external world, once familiar and predictable, begins to feel unstable precisely because it is being reconfigured to accommodate the new frequency of your emerging self. Those who cannot resonate with this frequency will naturally drift away, while those who are aligned appear with an almost uncanny timeliness, as if guided by a force beyond ordinary perception. This is not coincidence, it is resonance, a signal that the pieces are moving in harmony with the deeper structure of your becoming. Understanding which pieces are yours to integrate and which are meant to leave requires a level of discernment that surpasses ordinary cognition. The first measure of this discernment is the sense of ease. Pieces that belong, whether opportunities, relationships, or insights, arrive without the need for excessive struggle or justification. They feel inherently compatible with your trajectory. Conversely, elements that require you to compromise your integrity, manipulate circumstances, or push against your inner knowing are signals of misalignment. Recognizing this distinction demands that you cultivate a constant awareness of your own resonance and a willingness to let go of attachments that no longer serve your trajectory. In doing so, you honor the process of realignment rather than resisting it, allowing the pattern to unfold with greater precision. As this process continues, you will notice a qualitative shift in the way time and causality operate in your life. The linear progression of cause and effect begins to give way to a more intuitive sense of timing. Opportunities appear just in time. Conversations occur that seem preordained, and events align in sequences that make sense not through logic, but through resonance. This synchronicity is the external manifestation of your internal coherence. Your body, intuition, and mind begin to operate in a more integrated way, with your inner knowing acting as a compass to navigate the complex web of emerging possibilities. It is here that the true nature of God moving pieces becomes apparent. The world does not move because of random chance. It moves in reflection of the coherence and alignment that you cultivate within yourself. This stage of alignment also requires a heightened level of responsibility and vigilance. The power of resonance is double-edged. While it brings the right people, opportunities, and circumstances toward you, it can also amplify misalignment. Interactions, choices, and even seemingly trivial decisions now carry greater weight, as they either strengthen the emerging pattern or introduce subtle distortions. Thus, the cultivation of clarity, honesty, and energetic integrity becomes paramount. You are now not only a participant in the unfolding pattern, but also an anchor, a stabilizing force that allows the surrounding pieces to find their correct positions. The more precise your alignment, the more naturally the external world conforms, creating a feedback loop in which internal coherence drives external order. It is also important to recognize that the process of pieces moving is cumulative and layered. Each piece that falls into place sets the stage for the next, and each release of misaligned elements creates space for greater integration. Over time, this layered process builds a structure that may only be fully visible from a higher perspective, but its effects are felt immediately. Increased flow, heightened clarity, and the unmistakable sense of moving towards something inevitable yet deeply personal. The world begins to feel less like a random series of events and more like a coherent system in which every element has purpose and placement. Your life starts to resemble a complex design that reflects both your inner truth and the trajectory of your future self. Ultimately, Chosen One, the movement of pieces is a reflection of the deepest principle at work in your life. Alignment precedes manifestation. The external world responds not to desire alone, nor to effort, but to the integrity, coherence, and authenticity of the self. As you embody your truth and honor your inner guidance, the pieces continue to move with increasing precision, forming a reality that resonates with the emerging version of you. The process is ongoing, recursive, and continuous. As each piece settles, the pattern becomes more coherent, more recognizable, and more capable of supporting the life that your higher self has already begun to inhabit. The shift is not complete, and it is not instantaneous. It is a process of integration, discernment, and ongoing alignment. Yet with patience, vigilance, and trust in the process, you will begin to perceive the orchestration behind the apparent chaos, the unseen design behind each encounter, and the intricate network of connections that constitutes the life you are meant to lead. God is moving pieces, and you, Chosen One, are both the observer and the axis through which the emerging order is realized.